And so today we're going to get right into our tip here. So we can throw up that title slide. So today we're talking about Wildix collaboration, what it is, as well as um, how to log into it for first time access, and then ways to utilize the collaboration tool to communicate better. So I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing my screen. Um, so before we access Wildix collaboration, we're just going to discuss briefly what Wildix collaboration is. Um, Wildix collaboration is a unified communications and collaboration platform. Traditionally, businesses would rely upon three modes of communication other than face-to-face interaction. Um, One would be phones, emails, and faxes, and that's how you would communicate with customers and coworkers. But technology has advanced, and communications and commerce are now happening across multiple platforms. We're all familiar with things like Venmo or Facebook, um, utilizing different platforms to connect with customers and do business. Unified Communications connects and syncs information across all these various types of platforms uh, and really helps them work together as closely as possible. The collaboration tools will allow for users to work together on various projects and tasks, whether they're in the same office space or not, and we have people working remotely. This will help boost efficiency internally for your staff or employees, as well as increase productivity and help overall reputation of your company as you communicate more effectively with a unified communications and collaboration platform. So the type of tools that we find in a unified communications and collaboration platform are voice and video calling, voice and video conference calling. We'd have mobile connectivity via laptop and a smartphone, so basically enabling remote work. We have chat or instant messaging. There's screen sharing, file sharing, as well as traditional voicemail and fax services as well. So that's kind of an overview of what a unified communications and collaboration platform is, which is what Wildix Collaboration, the tool that we're going to be looking at today, um, falls under that category. So when you first become a customer of ours and are utilizing Wildix, if you have access to collaboration based on your licensing, you will receive an email in your inbox. So let me just go to my inbox here and demonstrate that for you. The email is going to come from either no reply at wildix.com, or it will come from one of our email addresses, probably support at cloud10os.com. Something like that. And the title here is Welcome to Our PBX. That's a little bit confusing. PBX is not a term that most people are familiar with, but you can see it's from currently the Wildix PBX as it's sent from that no reply address. So we're going to go ahead and open up our email here, and we'll give a little bit of a better view. So we see the email, welcome to Wildix. Please find details and credentials for logging into your Wildix service. There's a couple video links in this email. This one is for voicemail setup. Then we have another one down here for a mobile app overview. Um, but for the first time access, we're going to go to this link here using the Chrome browser, which I currently am in. I'm going to go ahead and navigate. So the nice thing about getting this in email format is it's typically accessible from your desktop and potentially also from a mobile device and or tablet. Again, with a mobile app, you can utilize collaboration remotely or in an untethered way, so you don't have to be in your office to do that. And having those options, if you have email access in those devices, you're able to copy and paste these links and credentials and get those set up as well. If you don't have access to the business email to which this first initial email was received, you can forward that to a personal email if you wanted to do it that way. And again, you'll have these credentials right there to copy and paste. A real quick note, you'll notice underneath this access to collaboration, the first step, it says using the Chrome browser. Now, Chrome is the browser that is really the collaboration platform is optimized to work with. It does work with most other platforms that we are familiar with: Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Safari, Opera. The one browser that it is totally incompatible with would be Internet Explorer. So if you're using Internet Explorer, you need to upgrade to one of these other options in order to utilize collaboration. I am in the Chrome browser currently, so I'll go ahead and click this link, navigate to. That's going to bring me to my login page. Okay, so it says authorization required. It's looking for a login and password. And so I'll just go back to my email here and we'll see my login is 500. I can remember that. My password, I think I'm going to copy and paste. So we go ahead and copy and paste this. Put in 500 for my login and my password. I'll just paste that, make sure it took. Select remember me and hit login. Now, a couple things are going to happen once we log in. First of all, because I am logged into my Chrome account, it's going to prompt me to save my password, which I'm going to go ahead and do. I don't want to have to look that up every time I want to log in or try to remember it because I've got enough to remember already. We are going to use the Google account to save and fill passwords. So one of the nice things about having a Google account, whether it's personal or business, is that it syncs everything across any device that you log into that account with. So if I were to open up my laptop or a personal computer or even a computer, at a library or a hotel or something, if I were logging into my Chrome account, I'd have access to all my saved passwords. Okay, so we've got a couple things that are happening here as we have logged in. We'll see first of all on the left-hand side, the browser wants me to allow notifications for this particular web page. That is important because as I allow notifications, that's going to give me a heads up when I've got an incoming call. It'll give me a heads up on things like a new chat message, voicemails, those sorts of things. So I will choose to allow notifications. Okay, it's also going to prompt me to allow my location. This is optional. There are some caveats with the service that Wildix utilizes because it is cloud-based, because it is untethered in the fact that I don't have to be in my office to utilize this. If I allow location with the E911 capabilities, that is something that we typically would prefer to do. So I'm going to go ahead and allow that. And the last and final, it's going to ask me to use the camera. That'd be for video calling or conferencing, as well as my microphone, which would be, again, video calling or conferencing. So I'm going to go ahead and allow that. Okay. Now, all of these settings can be changed or modified if you perhaps click the wrong button or want to make a change. You are able to do that via the browser settings, and we can on another video. Okay, so we've allowed the notifications, we've allowed location, access to the microphone and the camera. Now we'll see on the top right, we have this other notification. It wants me to install a browser extension. So as I mentioned before, collaboration really is optimized to work within the Chrome browser. And there is a Chrome extension that works very well. So we're going to go ahead and choose to install. So it's bringing me to the web store at this point, and I'm just going to have to choose add to Chrome. And I will verify, yes, I want to add the extension. Okay. And I'm turning on sync. Okay, so again, with the Chrome platform, if I have a Chrome account, this extension will appear across all devices that I use my Chrome account with. The extension has been added. The one thing that we want to make sure we do is pin the extension in the browser. So if I go to my extensions button here, I can see I have this one, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it. And what we'll do is actually place that quick access button just to the right of the URL. So this is actually a very, very handy extension, and it functions in a couple different scenarios. This would take the place of something like a bookmark that you would typically want to bookmark this page for quick access. When I want to log in to my collaboration, I'm going to have to remember that URL that I clicked from the email. Well, this extension actually integrated with Chrome will bring you right to that login page. So, for example, if I were to log out of this page, let's go ahead and close this out. Okay. I've got two tabs open, and right now I don't have my collaboration page accessible. But if I click on my extension, that's going to open up that login page. And because I've saved my password as well, I do have that pre-filled, and I can just log in. Okay. So when you first open up your computer after having not used collaboration, that's what you will see. Now, the other thing that is helpful, if I were to say, let's just for the sake of demonstration here, some of us work a little disorganized or in our own method of organization. If, for example, you happen to have 10, 20, 30 open tabs at any moment, if you get a call or a chat, or perhaps something that comes through collaboration and you want to manage it quickly, or if you're on a call maybe and you've navigated away from collaboration screen because you're addressing something else or looking something up, this extension will quickly bring you back to that active collaboration tab. So, for example, I'm 15 or 20 tabs deep here. Rather than searching through this entire area for the correct tab, I can just click this icon and it's going to bring me right back to my active collaboration tab. So those are some of the ways that you can utilize that extension. It's very helpful. And again, with that Chrome account synced and logged in across multiple devices, you'll have quick access to your collaboration and your saved password. For those of you who are going to be utilizing a different browser, there are a couple different things you can do. Obviously, a bookmark is a standard feature across browsers, and that would just be going to the top right. At least in Chrome here, we've got a little star icon. We can choose to bookmark, name it however I'd like it, choose the destination for it, and then just hit done, and that will add it to my bookmarks. Another feature that many browsers offer is tab pinning. So what's nice about that is I can take this current tab and right click and choose to pin it. Now, when I pin the tab, it actually makes it a little bit smaller, takes the title away, and it shows up on the left-hand side here. Now, this tab will stay in that position no matter what tab I'm on. So again, if I am, and let's add a couple more tabs here, say I'm really deep in tabs and things get really, really tiny. This is always accessible from the top left here. If I were to drag it around, it doesn't move. I can't relocate it. But if I get so many tabs that they start scrolling and I have to go back to see, which does happen in some browsers, that pinned option um, is very helpful for that. The other thing that helps that will help is when you close your browser. For example, if I were to go ahead and close this window, I'll go ahead and leave. Now, when I reopen Chrome, it will actually uh, maintain that pinned tab. So as I've opened Chrome here, you can see it does open a new tab, but then I have my pinned tab still on the top left. Okay. So one final thing, typically when you log out and log back in or reinitialize access to that Chrome page, or excuse me, the collaboration page, it may prompt you to enable sound playback permission. This would be for ringtones and audio on phone calls. And to do that, we just click this lock icon up here and then go to site settings. And down here where it says sound, we're going to choose allow as opposed to the default. That's all we need to do for that. Okay. There's one other piece that we need to take care of in order to complete our setup for collaboration. And this is something that if you are on your company computer, it may be important for you to have access to the admin credentials or a computer that is open to software downloads. You may need to reach out to your IT department in order to manage this. But from the collaboration screen, we'll go to the top kind of center right of those icons there to the settings. We'll choose the very last tab on the left for extensions. Okay. And we can see it already does see the browser extension is installed. We'd like to install the integration service, which basically allows you to use some of the components of screen sharing, file transferring, as well as your headset integration. So if you're going to utilize the collaboration for your device to make and take calls and or video calls, you'll need this one. The Tappy driver allows for click-to-call application across different interfaces, specifically Outlook, as well as some CRM applications. So we'll go ahead and install both of these. If I can, and I can do these simultaneously here. I'm just going to minimize this window real quick. And we'll see Chrome has prompted me with both of these windows, and I can actually run these simultaneously. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. It is prompting me to allow this as the admin, which I'm going to do. And we've got that running, and I can also run the Tappy driver as well. Again, I'm getting a prompt, and I'm running these both simultaneously. Now, if your browser does not give you these secondary dialog boxes, or if you're not sure where to find those downloads, it's typically in your computer files. There's a downloads folder. You'd find these in here, and you just need to double click on those downloaded applications and run them. Okay, I can close these. Tappy drivers completed. Integration services completed. Okay. So now let me go back and open up our window here. Okay, and we can see now it does say that the integration service and the Tappy driver are installed. Sometimes it does require you to log out and log back in order for those to sync up and connect. But in this case, we've got it saying installed across all of these extensions. So now that that is done, we are ready to utilize collaboration and the many tools that are in this interface. A real quick point to note, again, if you are utilizing the collaboration interface as your quote unquote desk phone or your phone for placing outbound calls and receiving calls, you'll need to make sure that you do have some devices set up properly. So real quick, I will go over to the second from the bottom option in the settings here, which is labeled web phone. Okay. And your computer should recognize the devices that you have available and autofill this list. If for some reason your speakers option or your ringing option are grayed out, maybe your microphone option is grayed out, that means there is no device available for that particular function. It does require that you have a speaker output and a microphone input in order to utilize the collaboration browser as your phone. In this case, it's pulled some defaults here, and I can just drop down and choose something else if I would like to. In this case, the headset earphone is what I would like for the ringing. I'd like to maintain the headset earphone for the speakers, and then microphone is also going to be off of the headset. So I'm able to utilize just the defaults that they've put in here. I've got a couple different options with my camera here. I'm not going to change that now, but if you do have a camera, you want to make sure it's selected to the right option. And that's all that I need to do. Just make sure that I've got devices selected, and then I can hit save. Once I hit save, the page is actually going to refresh. And then to test this, I would just utilize the echo test. When you do the echo test, you'll see a call tab open, and you'll be prompted to say something into the microphone, and you should hear it back. And that basically verifies that your mics are good and your speakers are good, depending on the devices that you've selected. And that would be all you need to do in order to utilize the collaboration as your phone. So one last piece, again, within collaboration, there are many tools. If you're going to utilize it as your desk phone, as your phone, web phone is the label they've assigned to that. Now, just to the right of this field at the top left, we have a drop-down arrow, and this is going to give us our device selection. So we'll see right now it's defaulted to web. That's because web is available. And that is allowing us to utilize collaboration as our device. If I drop this down, we'll also see I have a workforce option selected. This is my desk phone because I already have a phone deployed. And if I were to choose the workforce, I could then dial a number from here, and it would start the call on the desk phone, and I'd be able to pick up the handset and manage the call at that place. So there's many different options between the desk phone. We've got the collaboration browser. We've got actually a collaboration mobile app, which we'll touch on in a later webinar. And there's also an Apple Watch app. So all these different ways that help you communicate more efficiently, more effectively, and really in a way that's untethered. You don't have to be in your office space sitting at your desk in order to be connected to your customers and your colleagues. You can do business and commerce from anywhere in the globe, provided you have internet connection and access to your collaboration. So that is what we have for today, our brief overview. And if you guys have any questions or comments, on the left-hand side of the webinar screen, you'll see there's a couple spots where you can add a question or comment, and we can address those if you have any of those at this time. Okay, excellent. I don't think I see any questions at this moment. If you guys do have questions, you can certainly reach out to us at our office. You can give us an email to support@cloud10os.com. And if there's any way that we can be of assistance or service to you, we will certainly do that. Keep your eyes on our YouTube channel for some new uploads. We've got some training videos as well as some short tips that we'll pull from this webinar you guys can review. And there will also be a full recording of this webinar posted there later this week. Thanks for taking the time to join us. We're happy to have you guys, and we will catch you on the next one.